It's like I'm trying to think of. I just want to like run around in the rain. In the rain.
Yeah, do a few twirls.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very
then,
like run around and
an
go.
exploding barrel hits me in the head.
Yep. Yep. Just a giant monkey on top of the building. Just,
At least I collected a lot of bananas.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Everybody.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
It's Soundbooth
Welcome,
Theater
welcome.
Live.
Hey.
Welcome, everyone who's here to watch. Oh boy, I forgot to start my comments up. Here we go. We got Ethan Dotson here. Scar Nightshade is here. Kyra Strickland. And
Sin.
Sin is here.
Hello, Sin.
Hey,
Hello, Sin.
Right.
Of Sin's Corner.
Yeah. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. We have a very special guest today. His name is Zachary Johnson, and he has just recently started narrating audiobooks on the down low for Soundbooth Theater. Really, it's on the down low just because they haven't come out yet. And he
Yeah,
started
you guys
just
are going to get a
couple months
sneak
ago.
peek of his narration skills.
Oh, good.
Matt,
I'm glad it's not
you.
because you're secretly ashamed of me.
Right.
It's like
No,
we're
we're
keeping him quiet.
That's completely different from the sneak
Yeah.
peek I got earlier.
Sorry,
so.
Zach, but you're a bit of a PR nightmare, so
Yeah,
we're
I
going
know.
to tell everybody that you're Justin Thomas James.
Total social liability over here.
I will gradually take over the world.
I'm here to make all of you feel better about yourselves. They will shine by comparison.
Yeah, well, you know, if you take Justin Thomas James's name, that allows him to, you know, obscure himself in the shadows so that he can take over the world.
That's right.
Perfect.
That's
You
right.
take his identity and run. No one will notice.
God, you know, the only problem with this is that we've just given the whole
Yeah,
evil
this is my
plan
whole
away
plan.
on the internet.
God damn it! We
Yeah,
need to
they're
start-
Villains, a good villain always explains their plan. We just jump the gun.
Yeah.
that's
It's just
true.
we
That
were
is true.
supposed to wait till the
We were
hero
supposed
was
to wait
about
till-
to figure it out.
Yeah,
or
three-quarters
until the
in.
entire audience is tied up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Wait, are we don't know if they are.
They
or
may
not.
be,
could-
yeah.
they might be.
I think there's a high a likelihood.
How
I
many
say
of you are
75%
watching
of
from your
listeners are tied
BDSM
up right
dungeon
now.
right now?
Okay, one question though. Which one of us just failed Justin for the last time? Because somebody's got to get force choked for this.
oh, nose goes, not me.
Oh, okay. Good call.
It's gonna be
It's
Ray.
Ray. It's Ray. It's Ray.
Ray.
Ray. It's okay.
Force choke him.
I just love that little echo.
So,
My name is Jeff.
in
Sorry,
in case anyone here is confused, this is Soundbooth Theater Live.
we all are very
Yep.
confused. That doesn't clear much up, but clears one thing
So we are live now, in case you thought
What?
this was also a recording. Yeah. And we have a show for you today. We have 4 segments. We have another episode of Anti-Hero Chronicles. We took a little break 2 weeks ago. We have Ray Johnson's segment, Ray's Rayviews. I could have sworn Rave Views.
Rave
Ray's
views.
Rave Reviews. Okay. After that, there will be a classic poll reading. Oh man,
Where
that
Jeff
really doesn't.
reads a poll.
That, yeah. Where I will read a
In a
light
sex
poll, an
dungeon.
electric
like-
poll in a
it's
sex
like
dungeon.
tea leaf readings, but
There is
Yeah.
nothing on this pole. It's metal.
This particular poll
How did
is
you
named. Let's see. Let me find it again. This particular poll is named. God damn it! I just had it on Facebook.
Starla.
It's
Starla.
called God Dab, and I just had it open. That's what we're reading today.
It's called God damn
that's
it.
what she's saying.
Wait. Hunter's Paralogue.
Here it is. There it is. Hunter's Paralogue. That's right, and that is by John Ryder Davis. So
Yes.
I'll be running that one solo tonight, and right after that we have Gary's Games minus Gary equals games.
But we kind of have
Old
Gary.
Gary.
We have a hint of Gary. Essence of
Where?
Gary.
Spirit.
Yeah. Wait.
Is
Listen.
it the AI dungeon?
Yeah. Gary's the dungeon.
Oh, wait.
There he is.
I didn't hear it.
Nice.
No.
Ah, there it
He's
is.
here.
There it is.
You don't even notice. It's so subtle.
Yeah.
It's like a tincture of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really the only part of Gary that I was really missing. So that's good. We can,
Yeah.
You don't have to miss the rest.
Good.
Yeah. His unconditional.
Just kidding,
enthusiasm.
Gary.
All right. So
I feel like
for-
he's here.
Noise.
We're gonna run through the news real quick. First bit of news. We fucked it up. Sorry, guys. It was supposed to come out today. Kaiju episode 4, Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon episode 4 was supposed to come out today. We fucked it up. I'm sorry.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow morning,
Human.
10 a.m. Eastern. Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon episode 4 will be out, and it will be free. It will continue to be free. Meanwhile, if you haven't listened to it yet, go pick up episodes 1 through 3. There's already almost 8 hours of content for these 3 episodes.
We just thought we'd give you a little introduction into the art of pleasure delay.
Yes, yeah. We'll go with that, Annie. Thank you. And we have a little sample of tomorrow's episode to play for you guys real quick while we're in our news section. Because, the news is pretty boring, so we'll just throw a couple kaijus at it. Figure that'll make it more entertaining. There we go.
I was at 65% strength, and I could feel the ill effects of the parasites sapping my energy.
Hold on, let's get
my health was at 80%,
There it is.
and I had 3 special weapons, all of them fully
Ray
charged
knows
and ready
who
to
the
go.
donkey is.
The weapons appeared at the bottom right of my vision. All I needed to do to cast them was mentally click.
Sizzle and stick. Feral claw. Batshit berserker.
There was nothing that indicated what any of those did. That last ability, Batshit Berserker, had a skull next to it. Other than the 3 weapons, it didn't appear as if I had any additional special or magical abilities. Except for Burrow, which seemed to work regardless of the type of ground. I knew Banksy would never be able to burrow into the stone ground where I now stood. I had emerged not too far from where we'd entered the caverns to the now-destroyed Kinnegad. It was late afternoon, and I looked about, still not used to the different HUD. A map sat in the top right. I tried to pull up my normal menus, but they didn't work while I was inside this mode. I had 2 buttons on the bottom, Exit Control and a glowing red button that read Eject. I took a tentative step forward. The rock under my feet crunched, as if the rocky ground held a thin crust of snow. I didn't feel nearly as slow as I imagined a giant badger would feel. But it was peculiar, being in this body. My long snout, my prone form, my retractable claws. It all made my head swim. A light rain fell. Everything smelled so much more. The world an explosion of sensation. Animals, grass, the smoky sky, the burnt stench of demons. It was all amplified 1,000-fold. I'd played a few games where you immersed as non-human-shaped creatures, and it was always odd, disconcerting. It took a lot longer to get used to than in other games, and afterward it took much longer to recover from immersion. As a result, most games kept the vast majority of characters as bipedal, 2-armed creatures. I'd once tried out the free demo of Garden Variety, a stealth-themed game where you played a fox hunting chickens, and even that was too much for me. The game had eventually been co-opted by the furries anyway. Not that there was anything wrong with that. I wanted to try out my 3 weapons, and then I would hustle my new ride over to Charnel and see if I could find Clara and Banksy. At this height, I could see the distant glow of Medina and the horde of demons flocking around it. That gave me an idea. I likely wouldn't survive for long, but I wondered if I could power my way to the walls. I probably could, I decided. If we could do that, then maybe we didn't need to complete the Shrill quest just yet. I clicked on the map. I wanted to set a waypoint. I found Charnel, and it allowed me to place a marker. I noticed something odd, though. There was a wide, red indicator around the abandoned city that Charnel bordered. Zooming out, a similar area surrounded Medina.
This guardian may not venture within a kilometer of Medina.
Shit. There went that idea. My world flashed red, and I went tumbling, agony erupting from my side. I spun, bewildered, not sure what could possibly have hurt me so. My health went down to 50% with that single hit. What the hell? I scrambled to my feet, still uncertain on my legs. I looked up in time to see a massive two-headed wolf fly at me, both mouths snarling. The right head clamped on my neck and started shaking. I reflexively clawed out, and I connected with the second head. Both heads yelped, dropping me. Orthrus. Jank was attacking me with Orthrus. All around us, wildlife and demons fled. Trees smaller than blades of grass disintegrated. Rocks shattered with each step. A small herd of those rhinoceros demons, the giant fireball-shooting monsters, fell over themselves in terror as they tried to get away. I stepped on one and didn't even feel it. My health had plummeted to 35%. In a panic, I jammed down on my first special attack, Sizzle and Stake. No longer in control of my actions, I felt myself stand vertical, felt the strain on my back. My body became hot, almost unbearably so. The ground around me rumbled. It was an earthquake ability. The ground cracked, steam rushing out. Lava emerged, oozing out from the crevices. Demons and animals and plants all around me died. Orthrus jumped back, moving lightning quick, circling the ring of fire. The two-headed kaiju had a green exclamation point floating over it. I didn't know what that meant, but I suspected it indicated the kaiju was under player control. The Sizzle and Stake button grayed out, and a 5-hour countdown timer appeared. I tentatively fell back onto all fours. I couldn't move, lest I burn myself on my own special ability. But as the shaking subsided, the lava eased, turning black and then solid as it rapidly cooled. I could burrow away. I knew I wouldn't be able to defeat Orthrus. The wolf was about a third again bigger than me, was probably at 100% strength, and it was controlled by someone who knew what he was doing. But I wanted to know what the other two attacks were. Orthrus put a hesitant paw on the sizzling ground, allowing its massive foot to sink in. Satisfied it didn't burn or hurt, the wolf heads appeared to grin. With a quick motion, the wolf galloped at me, leaping just as I clicked Feral Claw. I leaped forward to meet the wolf in the air, both my forward claws lashing out at lightning speed. I felt them both dig deep. We smashed together with a thunderous crash. The wolf plummeted to the earth, hitting so hard, a distant mountain began to collapse. I smashed into the ground, rolling until I stopped against a rocky bluff. A pair of vulture demons swept down at me, the same kind that regularly attacked Charnel, and I swatted them away like gnats. I turned to face Orthrus. The countdown timer on Feral Claw was only 5 minutes. The wolf looked pissed. I'd hurt it bad. It had a massive gash on its chest. Blood freely flowed, gushing like a waterfall. But I knew I was hurt worse. My health was down to 21%. Okay, asshole. Let's see what this last attack does. At least, I tried to say that. It came out as... Orthrus kept back, more hesitant. The right head snarled. It seemed to pause, thinking. And then the whole kaiju pulsed. A blue light flashed, almost blinding. The wolf sat, both heads pointing into the air, howling. He was performing a special attack of his own. I watched with equal fascination and horror as the howling wolf split in half, right down the middle. Both sides collapsed to the ground. For a moment, I thought maybe I had miraculously killed it. But the two wolf pieces, each with a head, 2 legs, and half a tail, rolled onto the ground, gore side up, settling to a stop with a deafening crash. The halves twitched. 8 colossal legs emerged from the top and bottom of the creature, from the area below the neck and the area by the tail. Each leg was 50 feet long, segmented, crab-like. The 2 remaining wolf legs on each half, 1 front leg and 1 back leg, twisted and cracked, becoming pinchers. The 2 horrific crab things rocked back and forth, both on their backs. Each managed to flip themselves over. Gore and intestines and blood and muscle cascaded out of the turned-over kaiju halves. I should have attacked while they were down, but I was so damn fascinated with the display, I could do nothing but watch, repulsed. The halves skittered toward me. Neither half was as high as my chest, but both halves remained huge. The wolf heads, one on the left side of one.
Yeah. Sorry.
God
Didn't
damn.
want to spoil anymore.
That's
Oh.
great
Wow.
production quality.
Yeah, that was amazing.
That's sweet. That suite of
good.
music is
So good.
So good.
Jeff, I have to say that it's really unfair that you're not putting that out already. You're holding off till tomorrow, and you're only giving that little bit of a snippet. That's like audio erotic asphyxiation. Audible
yeah.
erotic asphyxiation.
Yeah,
audio.
I wanted to comment on this actually. Nick's mentioned the term audiobook edging,
Ah.
which
Yeah.
really pleases me. And I think that we should.
The art of audiobook edging.
We should
Well-
use that as our marketing language.
Does it
let's talk-
please you? Or does it come frustratingly shy of pleasing you?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good
Oh.
question.
that is a great question.
I
think the latter,
that-
actually.
I think the latter was
Audiobook
what we were
ed.
aiming for. We wanted to edge that on you.
Audiobook
everybody.
ed.
So if you guys need to get off, go ahead and go download the rest. The first 3 episodes. If you haven't listened to them, go get them now. Episode 4 is
Jing.
coming out tomorrow morning.
You can edge yourself all night long on those first 3 episodes.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. With a
Thank
cherry
you,
hitter.
Ahmed.
Okay, so other than that news, we have Dungeon Crawler Carl 5 currently in process of cold reads. The last 3 days I have been narrating Dungeon Crawler Carl 5. It is good to be back in, well, he's not wearing shoes. It's good to be back in, that would sound awful. wouldn't it?
Now you gotta say it.
No, I'm not gonna say it. I am Carl again. I am Carl and Donut again, and it feels good.
Carl and
We'll
Donut.
do it that way.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You guys, I have to warn you, my screen's doing that thing where it just inexplicably turns off for like 3 seconds and then turns back on. So hopefully that won't happen too much while we're going through anti-heroes.
Annie, I'm gonna have to ask you to stop doing that.
Okay. Deal.
So
Is that
yeah,
the secret?
if
Yep.
it is the
Yeah, you
secret.
just planning to
Just
knock it off.
Stop it!
Just don't do it.
You've seen the Bob Newhart sketch comedy little skit scene that's like, I don't know, it's like probably 5-7 minutes long, and he plays a therapist.
Bob,
This reminds me of that. It's like
Have
it's a
you tried
throwback.
not being? Have you tried
Yeah.
not being sad?
Yeah.
He's like, okay, well, stop it! She's like, yeah.
yeah,
Pretty
that's basically what I'm doing for you and
Thanks,
your
Jeff.
technology. Okay, so yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl 5 has been going for 3 days, going again tomorrow and again on Monday, and then I'll stop the cold reads. So then you guys just have to cry and wait for Dungeon Crawler Carl 5.
More audio edging.
More.
audio edging.
You guys, I'm a
Edge
master
for
at this
you
edging thing with audio.
This edging
Tell us
thing.
more.
Yeah,
Anyway,
great at it.
Never
Great
gets
at it.
old.
And let's see, do we have any other news? Any other Audible news? Anything coming out on Audible soon?
Yes, we do. Well, we already talked about Land of the Elementals, and that released before the last SBTL. But we've got a bunch of titles that are in production that are either uploaded and just waiting for launch. But we've got coming soon the Land of the Elementals books 1 to 3 box set coming at the end of the month.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Annie Ellicott, Jeff Hayes, Dory Sachs, me.
Yeah.
It's a great epic stuff. 45 hours. 45 hours of
Wow.
content.
For 1 credit.
For 1 credit. It's
one
just
insane.
a whole work week for 1 credit,
Yep.
plus
That's
some
right.
overtime.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Biomedical Self-Engineering by John Svensson, coming soon, narrated by myself and by a new voice actor working with us named Jude Aaron, who has recently joined our cast. And last but not least, we have Heroes of Last Resort, a LitRPG adventure narrated by that guy.
That guy. I'm
This one.
always confused about the directions. This one. Yes, sir.
The fingers are pointing here.
Yes!
So it features me. It features who's the female? Annie. So me and Annie.
Yeah, not me.
Got the whole cast.
That
here.
one. I think
Not him,
I'm
maybe.
pointing at Annie from my point of view.
Yeah. So yeah. It's
That's
me and
it?
Annie finger trapping Zach.
Yep.
And
Nice.
in an audiobook.
That is beautiful.
All right. So
Are we all just subconsciously recruiting DOMs at this company?
yes. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's all the news. So let's get on to some anti-hero chronicles.
Hey, got the script up right here.
Looking right at it.
Anti-heroes.
Just staring at it.
Anti-hero.
Oh, was I supposed to read it? Out loud? Oh, crap.
Ahmed, cue the music. Oh fuck.
There it is.
Leap slid to a stop in front of Psyker. True to what Go Loud had said, her hair was strange. A writhing mass that almost seemed to reach for anyone it could see.
Is it supposed to do that?
Do what?
Do that old creepy, eldritch, gropey thing? Your hair, it's like...
Oh, it's you. Catherine Knight. Leap, is it?
Leap's blood froze in her veins, and a chill ran its way up and down her spine.
How did you...
Know that? I've had Sorley Grimmerson, Grim, as you've called him, under my fingers for 3 days. Delving through his thoughts, his feelings, seeing who it was that came to his mind while I was interrogating him. You came up a lot, Miss Knight.
You know, I knew I didn't like you when I heard about you. Your methods... I was pretty sure I was still not going to like you when you decided to just drop Go Loud.
He told me I could.
I wasn't done talking yet.
She warped a few steps back, away from Psyker at first, then right in front of her, slapped her open-handed across the face, and returned to her original spot.
You brat!
Leap smirked.
But you talk about torturing Grim like it was fun. And I get it. He's punchable, quippy, broody. But that doesn't mean... Ugh.
My position as the GSO Inquisitor does mean that I get to do what I want. To get what I want. By law, I'm in the right, you little bitch. And you are in my domain, my house. And that means you're going to play by my rules.
Psyker's speech had her levitating about a foot off the floor, looking down at Leap.
You should have listened to Verna. This is a bad matchup for you, Cat. I wonder how Audrey is going to do against the street-level heroes I'm sending to take her in, to take care of her. Oh, that safe house in the Barrow is cute. Just like that orphanage back in the UK, isn't it?
Leap's head was spinning.
How did you...
Know that?
Psyker grinned with satisfaction.
You slapped me, Cat. I get what I want from criminals like you by touch. I know you know that much. My file, the information made public about me, well, that never said whose touch did it.
Leap ground her teeth.
She's a telekinetic and a telepath.
The supplier would have been the better matchup to take Psyker out. But if it had been personal before...
You bitch! I'll kill you!
Or maybe you'll let my little gang take care of Audrey. That way you can have Grim to yourself, Poor Cat. Always the one doing the saving, never actually being saved. Sure, he helped you, but he saved Audrey and went back to check on her. You? Well, he just didn't turn you in.
Leap's cheeks went red.
I'm not jealous.
Are you sure?
Psyker continued to float upward and away, taunting Leap from above, when it clicked.
Bitch!
Leap dug into the back pockets of her pants and produced a pair of leather gloves, pulled them on, and sprinted forward. Psyker was stalling. Leap ported to the top of one of the maze walls, right next to Psyker, and jumped off, driving her gloved fist across the telepath's jaw.
Get off me!
Jog on!
Leap latched onto the lapel of Psyker's blazer and continued pummeling her face in.
Stupid! Fucking... Bint!
Psyker's hands flew up, and Leap's instincts screamed. She released the falling woman and teleported 3 feet to the left, narrowly avoiding the telekinetic blast that tore through the space she'd just occupied. She warped back in front of Psyker, grabbed her by the hair, whipped around, and tossed her upward. Psyker grunted with effort and stopped herself, turning on reflex and blasting down. Leap wasn't there. The heels of 2 heavy boots drove into Psyker's back, launching her toward the floor again.
Fuck! You little...
With the reaction of practice and habit, Psyker rolled over, stopped herself, and extended her hands in the direction that Leap had been in, then turned all the way around, looking back to the floor. The sound of movement to her left caught Psyker's attention. She turned and looked, her eyes wide. Leap, upside down and soaring upward past her with an A-10 slug thrower, one of the guns Atreyu had commissioned for his squad, pointed right at her face.
Boom. Gotcha, bitch.
That one almost tickled, Presto. Try again.
It's not fair! That was my coolest spell! Temporal displacement, and you just shrugged it off! And why did you bring me to this old, crappy field? No one is gonna see me destroy your ass!
The supplier scoffed.
Your coolest spell? Coolest? Really? Do you know nothing of magic?
The supplier stormed forward, batting mana-infused cards, dice, and staves aside with her hands and tail.
If you knew anything of substance, anything besides which viewing angles were the best for your Insta-like profile, or what distraction tactics worked best for planting evidence, you would know that you don't use your coolest spell when you try to kill someone, Presto.
A small mote of fire appeared at the tip of the supplier's extended finger, blossomed into a torch flame, and soared into Presto's chest, sending him careening to the floor.
You don't use a cool spell, you use a simple one. Magic is not meant to be cool or flashy. That's a benefit of mastery. Magic is power, Presto. An inflicting of your will upon reality made manifest.
The supplier made another firebolt at the tip of her finger as Presto got to his feet, hands flexed with effort and arms outstretched as the ground around him tore up to form a massive spike projectile. The bus-sized stake soared through the air, hurtling toward the supplier at impressive speed. She twisted her wrist, shaping the flame into 2 intersecting lines, and flicked her fingers forward. The impact sent dust, dirt, and astroturf into the air, obfuscating Presto's view of the supplier.
Firebolt is too basic, bitch. Can't stand up to cave spike, and that's what you get.
You fool.
The supplier's voice boomed from the now swirling cloud of dust as a pair of gleaming red eyes shone through the maelstrom.
Shit.
The pair of eyes in the forming tornado soared upward, seeming to glower down at the small magician.
Oh, okay. But that's cool, though.
Presto looked down to see the gargantuan spike he'd made cut into 4 perfectly even pieces.
No way. There's no way a firebolt can cut through a cave spike. That's impossible.
Cave spike isn't a spell. It's an algorithm.
What? No, it's not. It's definitely...
A small titanium box, no bigger than a pack of cigarettes, tore free from the lining of Presto's tailored jacket.
No, wait!
The box hovered in front of the whirlwind, its previously impervious casing peeling away like the skin of a banana, revealing intricate circuitry and a pair of mana-charged batteries.
A gesture-programmed reality engine? Cute. I was curious how you made the portal, how you had been casting your spells without me feeling the flux of mana in your magic circuits. This little device has been doing all the work for you. I'll admit it's clever, but any actual mage would see through that in a second. There is only one creature that uses a singular organ to fuel their magic, and you are no dragon.
The small box crumpled in on itself and dropped to the ground, the sandstorm slamming down on top of it before Presto could react. A thin line of white light shot out and impacted the same spot the supplier's firebolt had, sending energy surging through Presto and parting the remaining detritus. Presto collapsed to his knees, breathing rapidly, then looked up at the supplier. Her tail lashed playfully back and forth. Her eyes still shone a glaring red, and the silver markings on her crimson skin shone through her clothing.
Whoa. What did you do to me? Why aren't I dead?
The supplier walked toward him, glass blossoming out across the incinerated turf under her hooves. Her tail whipped forward, stopping just under the cowering man's chin.
Oh, Presto.
The supplier mocked his state as she pressed up with her tail, forcing him to meet her gleaming gaze.
You really are clueless. Poor boy. I give you mana, enough to cast a real spell. Now, come on. Up, up.
She instructed, pushing harder with the spiked tip.
Okay. Yikes, lady. Yeesh.
Presto scrambled to his feet and stepped back.
You've got one shot, Presto. But I'm warning you, if you waste it...
Presto shouted with effort, firing off a bolt of lightning that surged over the supplier. She cracked her tail against the ground, sending a shower of sparks throughout the whole of the practice field.
You're going to regret it.
Yep.
Nice.
Dude, that was a good one. Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Outstanding,
for
guys.
another
Oh, you're
episode.
so welcome.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. So first of all, Zach narrated the shit out of that.
Yeah, you did.
Good.
Thank you.
Bang
So
on.
much feeling.
Yes.
Real good.
Dude, I'm like, okay, so if I ever start a metal band, you're gonna be the front man because you're gonna do all these like hand gestures and shit.
So good.
Oh, I missed that. Were we getting visual? Were we getting
Oh, dude, it was great.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was
I
the
like to
best.
do that, yeah.
It was a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
So, and actually, no joke, any narrators here and out there learn from that because even if there weren't a visual element, that's going to help your performance.
Oh yeah.
You'll hear
Very
it
much.
in the performance. People don't realize just how important our bodies are when we're performing, even if it's just our voice that people are hearing, because you can hear that effort. You can hear when we talk to each other normally, what I'm doing right now, this is stuff that
Yes.
we naturally do in order to have that emphasis. And if you're standing there narrating with your hands by your sides, it's going to come through as well. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Coffin narrating.
Zach, good work on
Thank you.
doing the metal hands.
I would
hands are
say best video ever to watch if you want to get a sense of how much that affects things. Watch Robin Williams do the genie.
Oh,
And yeah,
Oh yeah.
those videos.
That alone will convince you how important that is.
Mm-hmm.
So we have. I like how we split off into our individual fights. We had two of them today, but really the one everyone's looking forward to is the next time, which will be Go Loud. And Go Loud's fighting who?
Go Loud is fighting a lot of Vikings.
Next time.
Yes! Yes! Okay.
Yep.
Can't wait. That's going to be amazing.
It's,
Ahmed, let us know if you need some Viking efforts.
Yeah.
Like grunts and
Yep.
ooh, ha,
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100% going to be necessary, and we're going to.
I think we're gonna have
Arnold
to.
clones.
We're gonna have to front the metal band together, Justin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then,
I need to order
I
a
mean,
wig for
Ahmed slayed it with the sound effects this episode. I loved it.
Oh
So
man,
what we're
was
gonna
amazing.
need for Goloud's fight is think like the WCW like NWO days of like professional wrestling. We're gonna need some of that magic
okay.
in the next episode.
Also some mariachi.
I was just thinking. Oh my god.
Yes.
Brain sync. Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
I used to have a pair of maracas too.
Gary has to be here next time, so let's make sure if his wife needs to be collected that we hire someone else.
I'll go.
Okay,
we
good.
get people to do that.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, anything else, Joe, that you want to talk about for the upcoming episode or for this episode? Any comments?
So we have Goloud's fight, and then we're gonna get to see Panzer really, really, really cut loose. Like the next episode is probably like Sorley and Atreyu's fight, and Isto getting involved with that is going to be intense. It's going to be really, really intense. But I think that Goloud's fight is going to not only be incredibly and epic and badass, but it's also going to add a little bit of levity, I think, because it's going to be hilarious at the same time. Panzer's fight, I think, is going to like face melting.
Okay.
Good, I think.
All right. Face melting goodness. What was her name? What was her gun's name again?
Angry Daddy.
Angry Daddy.
Angry
Yeah.
Daddy.
Will he be coming out?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Angry Daddy's going to come out to play.
Okay, so wait, it's Goloud's fight, it's Panzer's fight as well next episode, and then
Next episode.
Sorley and Isto,
Sorley and
that's the next
Atreyu
episode after
plus Isto will be the episode after that.
that? Okay, cool. All right,
Which will
this
be-
fight
which
is
will be a
coming
good time.
together. I like how we're doing a fight over the course of months. Like
Yeah.
just one fight.
Yeah.
It's like
Yep.
a D&D session.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's right.
Isn't that how they do
Yeah.
that in anime though? You watch Dragon
And-
Ball Z and they take 25 episodes to get to the
That's
first
pretty much.
one.
Yeah, that's
But those
right.
Good. Good.
Listen,
point.
half of those are just spent screaming and powering up.
Yeah.
Next
I'm-
time,
yeah,
someone
that's
else
true.
also screams.
Pretty much. And if everything else can go right,
Goku's dead. Oh, he's alive. No, he's
Goku's
dead.
always
Oh, my God. Oh, no, he's dead.
Oh, and it doesn't matter because his spirit can also fight and is also corporeal, so the only difference is he has a halo now.
Yeah.
well, you know, details. If things can, speaking of people being dead, if things can go right, we should have like hopefully a little sample of something that Gary and I have been cooking up.
Oh shit! I know what you're talking about. Oh man, I'm
Yep.
I'm fucking psyched for that
Yeah.
project too. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be real great.
It'll be a very Gary day.
A very
Gary
very Gary.
Day.
Yes.
Nice.
All right. Well,
Nice.
I guess.
I knew it was coming.
All right.
My name
so,
is Jeff.
Ray.
Yes, sir.
It was the perfect amount of delay that I was waiting for it. I gave up. And then it came through.
Oh my god.
What, Ahmed, was that a clip or did you just say that?
No, it's a clip. Dude,
That's
we
a
have
clip
played the
from a
fuck
movie.
out of that clip for like the last 3 weeks. Where have you been?
I don't know.
You've got to do it with the music from Dune. With it, that was the best when you would play that. No, you gotta wait till it's done. It's like
great.
you gotta play that and then like have silence. It's like his audition. It's like his audition piece for being a Dune singer.
Okay, I don't know how I missed that shit.
I don't
So
either.
thank
So
you
confused.
for,
Subtle, just slipped
for
under
coming
the
up with
radar.
that bullshit. I love it.
Oh my god.
Ray, you have a review for us today?
I do. I'm a little afraid to jump in now. I don't know what Ahmed's going to play. And I'm going to tell you how old I am. And Annie just pointed this out to me. When she said, you got to play that music from Dune, I was thinking, how the hell are you going to fit Toto into this whole thing? Because and I'm just waiting for, like, you know, The Rain's Down in Africa or something to come on. And then, no, it was the new Dune movie.
The rain's down.
So sorry about that. So anyway.
Yeah, Ray, what you got for us today, man?
Okay, well, you know, I've been kind of talking about different books in the last couple of weeks here, trying to say, you know, this one's out new and it's doing really well and things like that. And what I wanted to talk about today is like a series. It's a series of books. There's 8 books so far in the series, and it's a really great series. I think it's kind of it's underappreciated. I don't think that it gets all the word of mouth and the love that it deserves. And it's C.M. Carney or Chris Carney, I know him, you know, enough. It's his Realm series. You know, the first book is the Barrow King, and it goes all the way up. He's got a few more books coming out. I think there's 2 left in the series. So the book is narrated by Armin Taylor, and he's the guy that also narrates the Viridian Gate saga. And so you would think there's going to be a lot of carryover between those 2, but there's not. There's like one voice, I think, that you really recognize from him, and it's Cutter's character from Viridian Gate. His voice is one of the standouts, and it's just the way it works. I mean, you know, narration, you've only got so many voices in the bag to play with. But
you know what? I feel bad. I can't even remember what his Cutter sounds like. I played Cutter in the
anthology.
The anthology, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, great job too, by the way. But his is more like Mick Jagger. Every time I hear Cutter, it's basically I can see him popping his head around and, you know, talking like Mick Jagger. That's just the way it works. And here, you know, the other character is not quite the same, but Carney has like laid out this incredibly elaborate world that is based, really, if you look at it, based on Dungeons and Dragons. Like all the monsters are really just kind of a shade away from being straight up D&D stuff. Like there's Arbolus as opposed to Abolus. There's different creatures that come into play, like Mind Flayer type things and that sort of thing. So really, if you're a D&D character or a D&D fan, you'll love it, because the characters really kind of feel from like the AD&D second edition, that sort of thing. And it's all right from the monster manuals back then. But the series is really about a man who gets sucked into a real world, you know, with the gaming situations. And the first book, The Barrow King, is him just kind of dungeon crawling his way to freedom and trying to figure out what's going on, how he got there, and that sort of thing. And the book evolves into this huge, sprawling epic. I mean, they go through space. They fight gods. There's just a huge amount of things that happen in the series. And the nice thing about it is the main character, Griff, is so well written and elaborately done that you can have a book with just him in it, with none of the other original cast members, and it still works. You don't go, well, you do miss the other characters, but you don't miss them so much, because Griff is keeping your attention, and the story just keeps moving forward. There's like no books that you get and you say this book really doesn't fit, or it just kind of drug on, or it's spinning its wheels waiting for the next book to come out. Every book has an increase in tension and danger, and I can see the way things are working. The end of the series it's going to be really bloody. I get that it's not going to be nice. There's going to be a lot of losses and deaths, so favorite characters may not survive. And that's one of the things I like about it too, is because it is unpredictable. But the series is so expertly narrated. Again, Armin Taylor is just one of these guys that there's a professional from the moment he starts talking till the time he stops. And the only thing it's missing really is like what you do, where you add the music or the sound effects, because he is just amazing getting the emotions out, getting the tensions. There's one character who's my favorite, named Arat, and Arat is like this really slow-witted character, but he's got like high EQ. His emotional intelligence is
IQ?
really high. What's that?
Oh, emotional intelligence.
Yeah, yeah.
EQ. Okay.
Yeah, his EQ. Yeah, so his emotional intelligence is really there. So he might be kind of like a slow fella, but he knows more than what's going. What most people give him credit for, and he carries the story comedically, but also emotionally. Like there's a lot of stuff wrapped up with him that can really tear at your guts because he's been through like a really crappy ton of things in his life, just from having his soul ripped out and put into a new body and that sort of thing. Arat is just he is like the core of the emotion or the soul of the story, whereas Griff is like the lead, take charge, and I'm going to end things however I have to. So the series really spans. So it's actually going to be longer than like the Radiant Gate. It's going to have a few more books. Radiant Gate ends on 6. I mean on 8, and this one's going to go I think to 8 or 9 or 10. I know he's on 8 books right now, and I think the last book he's splitting into 2. Just because of length, so it's going to have a little bit longer. So it's one of the longer series in lit RPG, but it's also one of the best out there. It's so well written, it's amazing. And how people don't talk about it more often, I really don't know. It's just one of those things where I go, you list off your favorite stuff, and Carney's stuff just it doesn't pop up as much. It's a lot like William Morand. His stuff. You started out with him, Jeff, and you know how his work is. He's got like a massive amount of work. There's just trilogy after trilogy, and there's not like a whole lot of credit being given for what he's done.
I don't know, man. He's one of the OGs. He's pretty big, dude. He is,
but
people know the Billy D, man.
Oh no! What I'm just saying, when you say like when you see the people online saying, "Hey, man, what's the best series out there?" or whatever, I don't ever see like a Rand pop up as like this is the best. Like Super Sales and Superheroes was huge at one point.
Yeah,
I don't see that come up in conversation very much anymore and that sort of stuff. That's what I'm saying. To me, I think a lot of his later works, which are some of his better works, they don't get the credit they deserve. And that's where I think with Carney, The Realms is one of those books that really needs spoken about, and it deserves to have the credit that it doesn't get.
Well, I have a theory about that if that is the case, and I didn't realize, I never really noticed that he wasn't getting as much attention lately. But my best guess for that is because he does so much harem. And I think I think that right now there's a lot of divide in the lit RPG community about harem. Like harem's kind of being pushed out a little bit. Like people are kind of like, I don't know, they're turning against the genre in a way. And like personally, I don't know, harem is fine, but like I think that people just, I think it's distracting for some people, right?
Right.
And so they just want a more pure experience.
Another kind of audiobook edging.
Another kind of audiobook edging for sure. Yeah.
That's the one that needs the really good sound effects, though.
My name is Death.
But and I think with him, I think where he kind of hit the wall, in my opinion, was with Fostering Faust, because there was a lot of stuff in that book that the way the book was written, it could have been misinterpreted in a lot of different ways. With like it's forced or
he's always been controversial.
Yeah,
I think, and that's what I like about him. Personally, I like it when authors are like, "Hey, let's fuck this up and let's get everybody uncomfortable right here."
Right.
Like that's I mean, what's the point in making stories if you're not doing something controversial and doing something to make people talk to each other and like, debate and like get heated about, that's cool in my opinion that he pushes.
I agree, and I read everything I can, or I should say, I listen to everything I can that he does. But again, I just think that there was a point where it just kind of hit a wall for him, and I think it was Fostering Faust. And again, and it's nothing but like I know that like the narrators were like, I love this stuff, but this is not something I can do. So he had to go and get other narrators to go into it. And I'm not going to say anything about who it was. Everybody can figure it out. Yeah. And it's a narrator I love. And I had nothing bad to say about her whatsoever. It was just not her cup of tea. And, I think that kind of affected things too for him to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Audiences follow narrators at least in audio, right? Like I don't know. Look, if Billy D's having a dip right now, I'm sure he's gonna swing back. Like the dude has been writing hits since I've known him, right? Like, and they just constantly and he's got a lot coming out all the time. I don't know if any of that's changed, but to me, he's always had a really intense work ethic, even when he wasn't doing it full time. Like he was still spitting books out when he had a day job. So I mean, dude, he's always gonna be around.
Oh, I'm not saying he's not. All I'm just saying is I don't think he gets the credit he deserves anymore. I think he's got so many series out there, but usually people say, "Hey, what are your top 10 list?" And I don't see him listed up there like I think he should be. And that's just where my point is about it. I mean, he's still putting out amazingly good books, amazingly good stories, and I think you have a really good point with the harem aspect of things. It is offsetting to a lot of people, and so that kind of it is an issue. And what kills me is when I listen to his books, the books that are where it is a harem, but there's it's a fade to black kind of harem book. Those are the ones I don't want those scenes to be fade to black. Those, I'm like, I love that character. Can we just go, get into it? No, nope, we're gonna just cut away.
I think the only ones I did for him were fade to black, right? Like Other Life. I don't remember very much graphic stuff in Other Life.
Yeah, I think Super Sales when he did that.
There wasn't much graphic stuff there either. Yeah. So, well,
right.
That's why he uses his other names as well, and that could be another thing.
Rand's there, but he just doesn't get the credit he should.
It could be also because he's using at least one other pseudo, right? And so
you're absolutely correct. He does have the pen name.
Yeah, and I don't know. It always surprises me when people don't know that it's the same guy, but apparently that's a problem. Some people they assume he's a different guy. He's a different author, so maybe because they're not combining all those different libraries of books that Randy Darren wrote and William D. Aaron wrote. And does he have another one?
Right. Yep. No, I get it. It's kind of like Stephen King and Richard Bachman. I've literally seen people do reviews and they're like, this guy's so much better than Stephen King, like for thinner, it's like, they don't get it. It's the same cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That could be it. But hey, cool. CM Carney's, what is it again? The Realm series? Yes. Okay. Cool. So go pick it up, guys. Ray recommends the shit out of this. I remember when this first came out. Man,
not that I'm aware of, but then again, I could be wrong on that. So
what was this?
But I only know the two, Randy Darren and William Moran, that he writes by, unless he has. But they're not in the Rand verse. Like I know everything he does connects to one another.
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
and I'm not seeing any other books that haven't connected or have a connection to those.
Well, you heard it from Ray, y'all. CM Carney's Realm series, starting off with the Barrow King, narrated by
the Realm series. Yeah, and the first book is the Barrow King.
Yep. Realm series, kicking it off with the Barrow King, narrated by Armin Taylor, who's I've always known that he's super legit. I think the only thing I've listened to him is the first Viridian Gate online book, and that was so fun. I really liked that book. So, and he did a fantastic job. He's got a great voice.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, thanks so much, Ray. Do you need to peace out of here now?
3-4 years ago.
Oh man, I think we're really, I think we're really delayed here.
I'm not sure exactly, but it's been a while. Like I said, it's been out.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
Just shy of the same time. Like it was almost the same time as Viridian Gate.
Whoa.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no! Oh,
I just thought he was
No,
saying
he's
he
back.
needed to peace out 3-4 years ago.
That's it for me.
All right. So eventually, Ray's gonna hear what I was saying, but Ray needed to go. Justin has left as well. I wish he had told us what the video game was that he wanted to play.
Elden Ring.
Yes,
Elden
it was in the
Ring.
chat.
What is it? An MMO?
It is a
Survival?
like Dark Souls like open world game.
Oh.
I think George R.R. Martin's helped writing it, isn't he? Or
Yes.
helping to write it. Yeah.
I bet his fans aren't happy about that. Why are you writing this? Why?
I mean, I think there was actually a little bit of controversy around that because Elden Ring has been in development for a while, and that was around the like garbage fire ending that was.
Oh.
GOT.
Yeah.
R.I.P. GOT.
Whoops.
Yeah. So Justin is not here. He's playing that game now.
Yeah.
We will be playing some Gary's games minus Gary equals games, but let me do our classic poll real quick. I'm going to read a poll. The graffiti off of it, the stickers on it, the missing cat flyers.
That's a beefy poll you're reading. I was thinking it would be like a fire poll.
Oh boy.
As they would say on Archer, phrasing.
I'm glad that somebody made that reference.
All right, so I am going to narrate The Hunter's Paralogue by J.R. Davis. Let's solo me real quick. Get your asses out of my screen. There we go. All right. And let's figure out what this thing is. All right. City, Almere. Location, the Sirens Brew Inn and Pub. Oh, we've done this one before. Okay. Now... Okay, I don't think we've done this particular scene. But we've definitely narrated from this book before. Okay. Location, the Sirens Brew Inn and Pub. Descriptive. I'm pretty sure he means description. Lenostris and the crew, having settled in their rooms, opted for a quick bite prior to seeing the Merchants Guild to sell wares from their Black Dragon boss. Okay. Leah is a necromancer. She's intelligent, coy, and laid back with an interest in drinking that rivals Theron. Okay. Theron, dwarven warrior, Scottish accent. He is confident, loud, and presently leads the crew. He is, however, kept on a tight leash by Havrin. Okay. Havrin, Theron's dwarven comrade. Together they pulled Lenostris into adventuring and looking after the green deity. To Theron's loud bellowing, Havrin is more polite, contemplative, and quiet. Mag, human combustion mage. Very chipper and polite, can become a bit flustered in combat. Okay, Lenostris, reincarnated deity possessing an elf as his chosen avatar, the hero of this story, whose journey to understand the world around him and develop his godly designation amidst the chaos of the story. He is witty, confident, and experienced in life. He's a deity, I hope so. Okay, Jeff, stuck-up waiter. The Jeff story relates to him having an altercation with an elf named Jeff, who tried to pick a fight with him over his avatar's ex. I don't understand that. Okay, Sif, polite, chipper waitress. All right, so this sounds like something that's very, someone is saying pen name William D. Aaron, Randy Darren, and A.R. Rend. A.R. Rend is another of William D. Aaron's. There we go. Pseudonyms. Okay, so here goes. I'm assuming this is gonna be like, this feels very, very fantasy. I'm just gonna go with typical fantasy narration. Moving over to the other side of the establishment, it was clear to see we did not beat the rush. Oh, okay. So it's actually first person. And all right. So I guess I'm going to be Lenostris narrating. Okay. Moving over to the other side of the establishment, it was clear to see we did not beat the rush. The majority of the tables were filled with people happily eating and gossiping about their lives. Despite such, Theron had already made up his mind, and the rest of us were decidedly not inclined to contest. Mag, human combustion mage, very chipper and polite. Leave it to Theron to find an inn with a built-in pub, Mag said with a look of amusement. Not that I'm complaining. I could use a good meal. No disrespect to Havrin and his lovely cooking. The combustion mage gave him a wink. Havrin replied with a tilt of his head as if to say, none taken. And Havrin is the second dwarf, right?
Sorry.
Okay. I thought that was Ahmed.
It was totally
Okay.
Ahmed.
So long as their mugs are deep and their drink aplenty, you can count me in,
Theron replied, passing the necromancer as he made his way inside.
And here I was expecting you to be wanting some milk and cookies. Havren poked with a slight curl at the corner of his mouth.
We talking about the same dwarf here? I imagine, then, his name would be Theron Rumblebelly instead of its present allocation, I added. This got me a quick glare from the dwarf as we trailed in behind him. Our group found ourselves in front of yet another podium. This one, however, was manned by a short elvish woman with short black hair. Her features were striking to the eyes in a way that captivated you. As we closed in, she gave us a cheerful smile, the elf's name tag reading Sif. Welcome to the Siren's Brew. May I ask how many in your party? She asked, eyes meeting with Theron.
5, if that works for you,
the gruff dwarf responded, head nudging to indicate the rest of us. Sounds perfect. There is a bit of a wait considering the time. Would 10 minutes be okay? Sif responded, her head tilting slightly to the side with the said question.
Course, we'll be sitting down on the benches if that's all right. Come grab us when you're ready.
Oof, my Scottish, goddamn. Theron said with a toothy grin, likely put in good spirits by the prospect of another drink. Sif affirmed the decision, and our lot made itself comfy for a short period. Most of my time was passed with Theron. His plan was to test my resolve with yet another drinking round. Truth be told, I didn't believe such would be a good plan just before meeting the Merchant Guild. Fortunately for me, I didn't have to lift a finger.
If you have too much, old friend, I doubt the Merchant Guild would react to your increased charm,
Havren said as he gave Theron a speculative glance.
Fair, fair. I'll be sure not to go overboard, he replied with a grunt.
A short period later, Sif ushered us to a large round table with chairs neatly tucked in. After we were all seated, Sif handed us our menus and told us the waiter would be with us momentarily and hurried off to assist other patrons. As we perused the entrees, I noticed a few differences from the food back home. Things like chimera tenderloin and elven shortbread, to name a few. My browsing interrupted by an
ahem.
In front of us stood a rather short waiter with pale skin, permed wavy brown hair, and an air about him that just screamed arsehole. His name tag read Jeff. Naturally. Welcome to the Sirens.
This is not the troll poll, but I accept that. I can understand why you could not resist.
Oh, God. That was too perfect.
That was the best timing on that.
That was so beautiful.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
My night is made.
Yep.
Yeah, you really
Thank you,
can't
sir.
continue.
Good work.
That was pretty good.
The sign to cut it
Good
off.
stopping point. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll keep going. Don't want to disrespect.
Right.
Okay. Welcome to the Siren's Brew. My name is Jeff, and I will be your waiter this evening.
Sorry.
My name is Jeff.
Okay. All right, thank you, he said with an air of haughtiness. His eyes looked over each of us with disdain. Either the lad was having quite the bad day, or he was just a natural prick. My vote was going for the latter of the two. What would you like to drink? For me, I'll have an ale. Whatever's in season at the moment, I said with a nod. Leah pointed to me, gesturing the same for herself. The remainder of the table settled on cider, aside from Theron, who took a keen interest in their griffin's blood, which sounded just wrong to me. Theron, on the other hand, had a wild grin displayed across his face.
This here sounds pretty good. Says it's strong enough to make your chest hairs grow chest hair,
the dwarf said, as he closed his menu.
Theron, no. It's too early in the day for heavy drinking,
Havren ham-fistedly chimed in.
Theron? Yes!
Roared the dwarf, his sentiment being echoed by Leah, who pumped her arm into the air excitedly.
Exactly whose side are you on, lass? Havron questioned, his eyes moving to look skeptically to the necromancer. The side for drinking, of course, Leah replied as she elbowed Theron cheerily. In turn, the gruff dwarf's smile grew wider, and the two cheered together. Alcohol! Alcohol! During the entire exchange, Jeff simply stood there with an
Totally just expected that to come out just like immediately.
During the entire exchange, Jeff simply stood there with an expression of clear existential terror. I could almost hear the lad saying, oh God, this is my life now. He quickly rushed off, presumably to procure our beverages. Is it just me, or is every stuck-up little shit named Jeff?
My name's Jeff.
He waited for it that time. He was like, I'm not even gonna bother
Oh my god.
moving forward.
I think you've evolved into that
Okay.
ancient Sumerian
How
prank
is
god
this
at this
happening?
point, Ahmed. This is amazing.
This is like, this is cosmically beautiful.
It is. It's super good.
And Ahmed is commander of the cosmos that are orchestrating that beauty right now.
Now we just have to wonder if is it Ahmed or is it Alistair Black back there?
That's a good question.
Theron asked as he eyed the man's departure. I have known only one other, and we both know how that went, I replied with a knowing look. My notice then shifted to the questioning gazes of both Leah and Mag. Long story short, another guy named Jeff recently wanted to rumble at a bar. I convinced him to reconsider. This explanation seemed to sate them a bit. At least, that was my guess, judging by their bemused looks. Ha! With a well-placed kick, you did? Havron chimed in, the two girls chuckling a bit at the inclination. Our conversing was cut short by the return of our favourite waiter. The guy passed us each our beverages of choice, taking our orders, before retreating back to the kitchen right after. Theron's drink looked just a bit more sparkly than I was expecting. Of course, we had no choice to ask the waiter, as he had already taken off once more. Grade A service, that one. It's supposed to be that pretty looking? I asked as I took an experimental sip of my own drink. Contented, I took a deeper swig. Not sure. But let's give it a try, the gruff dwarf replied. He then lifted the mug to his lips and took a drink. Bits of sparkles coloured his beard as he lowered the drink. Tastes a bit too pretty and sweet, I'd say. Otherwise, not too bad. Yet he took another swig. Jeff then came rushing out from the kitchen with a flustered expression. I am terribly sorry, but there may have been a drink mix-up. I think you may be drinking our unicorn's dream, rather than what you ordered. This beckoned the question. If Theron had someone else's drink, who had his? The question was answered but a moment later, as a blonde-haired female elf behind us flopped out of her chair. The woman's face was far too red for her light complexion. I guess that answered that one, eh? And that's it.
Nice.
Well done.
Splendid.
I really was hoping the waiter would introduce himself with the phrase, "My name is Jeff," at some point.
And he did! It was amazing!
It was the best.
Quite exemplary.
Yes. Quite exemplary. Thank you,
Yeah, it's
John.
good
Ryder
shit.
I feel like
Davis.
that was really good, and I feel like that was the straight. What are we calling it? The non-troll
The
poll.
stra- the
straight
classic
poll.
poll.
The
The straight
classic poll. It was a really good material for the classic poll. However, I do think somebody was trolling us. With it.
Because of the Jeff
Because
thing.
of the Jeff thing.
I hope
Because
so.
it was like, the waiter was like, what? They like said something about anyone with the name Jeff. What did
Jeff.
they say about
It
Yeah, one
just
sec.
screamed asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a demeanor that screamed asshole.
Let's see. What's it say?
Is it just me, or is every stuck-up little shit named Jeff?
Yeah. That was it. I
Yeah.
think that was on purpose, probably.
I think
hope
that
so.
had
I hope
Probably.
so.
Just a
But
little-
John
have to-
Ryder Davis, if it was you, kudos, good work, sir.
However,
Thank
very
you-
good material.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
excellent.
you for requesting, and yeah, looking forward to the next request. So if you guys are interested, if you guys want to read about some asshole named Jeff, pick up the Hunter's Paralogue on Amazon. Book 1, Deus Ex Deathtrap, and I think he's already got a narrator on this one. Actually, let me check that out.
I do have to say though, your narration. Do you watch Kartzgesagt on YouTube, that animated educational channel? Because you did an absolutely perfect impression of the presenter the whole time. It was so
really?
great. Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Hunter's Paralogue. Hunter's Paralogue. Boom. Let's check this out. That does have an audiobook, but narrated by David Raymer? David Raymer, I believe. Not sure. I don't think I've heard him before. Anybody else here heard him before?
Doesn't sound familiar to me.
Okay. Well, check him out, guys. Don't know if he's any good or not.
Let us know.
But let us know, anyone who checks it out. All right. Anybody else ready for Gary's games minus games equals Gary? No, equals games. No, minus Gary equals games. Gary's
Yeah,
games minus Gary
those are
equals
both
games.
mathematically true equations.
Yes, I know. But only one of them is truly what we're going to do. So, Biff Liff Ricky is ready.
Biff Liff Ricky.
Yeah. What do we got, guys? Oh, here it is. All right, so we're going to play AI Dungeon,
Okay.
which is a classic here for Gary's games. It's a whole lot of fun, and we figured out how to actually type stuff in ourselves for our turn. So how should we do this, guys? So top to bottom in turns?
Top to bottom.
Top to
All
bottom.
right. Cool.
And who wants to go first?
I can't see who's on top when I'm in the game. Okay.
Jeff's on
Jeff
top
is
right
on
now.
Top. Okay, and then
Yeah.
and then it's me.
There's a
And then
delightful
it's
sandwich,
me.
Yes.
and then I'm on the
And
bottom.
so then I'm just okay. So I'm waiting until Jeff goes to type my thing in.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay, cool. All right, so here goes. I'll go ahead and be narrator, and then everybody whose characters say something, you guys read your own lines. All right?
Okay.
And yeah, we'll just go in turn. I'll go first, and we'll just top to bottom. All right.
Our story begins with a group of adventurers living in the medieval kingdom of Larian. The kingdom is filled with small villages and thatched cottages and has been relatively peaceful until now. The adventurers are on a quest to find the magical staff of Zalos. They walk through the forest and notice a band of mountain dwarves. The dwarves are friendly and offer them food and drink. Then one of the dwarves turns to them and says,
You look like you could use a friend. Come with us. We're going into the matron's fortress.
The adventurers gladly accept, and the dwarf leads them to the fortress.
All right. So I will say... something basic.
Wow, these are some amazing towers. What's in them? This is where the matron makes her magical items. She puts her dark soul into them, and they grow to amazing sizes. She then uses them to kill people.
All right. Annie, what are you going to do? Yeah. Oh, by the way, Annie, so you see the button, you click that button to change it. So it'll be like say or do or
sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or you
Say, do, or story.
What happens
Yeah, say do or
next?
story. So
Okay.
say means this is what you're going to say, do means this is what you're going to do, and story is you want to make the story do something specific.
Right.
All right. Unicorn's dream was a drink. It was the sparkly one. All right.
Banani says,
That's quite rude.
What?
You just told a lie. How can an item a dwarf made with his magic be used to kill?
Well, Zachary
Oh.
Johnson has something to say about this.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
I know, the suspense I'm building.
Zach says,
I mean, they don't really need magic to kill things. A pickaxe will do just fine.
Shut up! I didn't say that!
You so did.
Well, maybe I didn't say it in so many words, but I meant it.
sorry, I burped. All right, Joe, what you got for us? I'm going to go ahead and type my thing in now.
Mm-hmm.
DeProf says,
I'm confused. I thought matrons were female. Is that the same for dwarves?
Oh no, there is no gender. It's just a name, like doctor or chairman or whatever.
Oh.
Biflifrifiki.
Says.
Biflifriki.
Biff, liff, riff, icky.
Sorry, I have to. I'm going back. I'm doing a callback here.
Biflifrifiki. Biflifrifiki says.
That sounds like some ancient philosopher wisdom like Confucius say.
Yes.
Biflifriki says.
But it's some kind of Jack Handy shit.
Yes, exactly.
Biff Liff, Ricky says. So, what's your favorite magical item to murder people with?
It's a long list. She has an army of hellbound ghosts that she uses to attack. She also has a living staff that she uses to control the dead.
This bitch is badass.
She
again?
sounds pretty
The
rad.
matron.
Yeah.
Annie, it's your turn. Are you typing? Is that you typing?
Yes.
Is that you clackety clacking?
It's me clackety clack.
Dude,
Oh,
I already know what I'm gonna say
I was
next. So I already
clackety
typed mine.
clacking away, and I didn't have the cursor.
Oh no!
The worst.
No.
You're just sitting there like, wait, where did it go?
Whatever she is about to say, I'm certain it will be most carefully considered.
So an army of hellbound ghosts is not a magical item. Just want to put that out there. Banani jumps off the mountain and flies off on a jetpack. Biff Liffricky says,
That's not fair. I thought all dwarves were supposed to be suicidal.
okay.
God damn it.
I just love the suspense behind the title.
I do too. I love hearing the clackety clack.
It's like hearing our brains work.
And I thought magical murder items were rude.
I believe that was me, sir. Speaking
wait.
of rudeness.
Well, it doesn't say that. It just adds it
God
there.
dang it. Really? Oh, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I was just attempting to build my persona. What?
I think maybe it should be you. I think that's
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like it should be.
Yes. Because, yeah,
Okay,
I typed
so you
that.
go ahead and
That's
say
what
that.
I typed in. Huh. And I thought magical murder items were rude.
That was rude.
Yes, now let's go to the matron.
all right, Joe.
This AI is rude, not telling you that it was me.
Yeah, bullshit. Come on, AI. Learn some
Damn it, you
manners.
marvel of technology. Stop screwing up.
Yeah. Joe, I hate that we can't hear your keyboard right now.
I know.
Messing me up. Nix.
Yeah, see, how can we keyboard edge? This is internal dialogue edging.
DeProf scratches his head and wonders just how it was that he landed here on this mountainside with a jet-packed banani, a random stoic man, and whatever Biffliff Ricky's creature was, but shrugged and went along with his charade. The dwarves opened the gates and welcomed the adventurers. One of the dwarves is named Nock, and he says...
Oh, was I supposed to determine what Nock says?
I don't know.
I guess so. All right, well, I have something perfect already.
Perfect. I'm sure you'll knock it out of the park.
Oh, what? Wait, it's supposed to be the dwarf that says it. All right. One of the dwarves is... I'm just going to ignore the Biffliff Ricky says.
Yeah,
because
okay.
I like the other thing.
One of the dwarves is named Nock, and he says...
Bruh, can I get the matron's number?
Oh, we can get the number. Just not the pickle factory that creates the soul of the matron. That's a closely guarded secret, but one we're going to be able to solve.
Pickle Factory? What the fuck?
Factory that creates souls. I'm intrigued.
No. Hold on.
Oh, now it's telling me I have to create a free account to continue playing.
Ah.
That's too bad, too. Oh,
That's
well.
bullshit. Well, we need to remember that it's 3 rounds, or we need to have like a company account for everybody to. Well, I wonder if you can sign it. If more than one person can sign into the same account.
Oh,
and
it did it to me too.
No.
I was gonna say that I was stuffing myself with a copious amount of pickles from an unknown origin.
And I was going to admit to having worked in a brothel called the Pickle Factory.
Damn it!
I guess I'll just have to be extra stoic and not say
Well,
anything the entire
These
time.
motherfuckers.
Joe, are you able to?
DeProf remains the only one who made an account before the game started. The dwarves take the adventurers on a whirlwind tour through the fortress to show off everything. They show off the giant soul-growing machine, the torture chambers, the endless supply of souls for the dark magic, etc., etc.
Aww.
All right, one more thing.
That has serious Monty Python animator suffered a fatal heart attack vibes.
Yeah. Bam. No, I have my own account. Fuck you.
Sons of bitches.
This is
good.
that's the magical item that the matron uses to kill characters.
Yeah.
Is account restrictions.
Fuck you.
Total
matron.
dominion over the entire world.
Okay.
Meta.
Well, we did not plan ahead for this game well enough. We have to remember for the next Gary's games, everyone has to have an account.
Okay.
Account edging.
DeProf says,
I'm trapped in the pickle
Hello?
factory.
Am I here? No, I'm trapped in the pickle factory.
Quiet down.
No, you go ahead.
Quiet down, will you? We got company.
The dwarves look and see a figure entering the hall. They take one look at him and go into immediate hiding.
All right. I guess that's the end.
This was a weird story.
I know.
It got weird. It got
Yeah,
weird.
you
Matrons
don't normally
being
see-
And
positioned
that was
like-
a super artsy ending, you know. That was like
Yes.
definitely like an art house
Right.
ending.
I mean, props to the writers for being willing to kill off 3/4 of the main cast in the first episode of the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
You know.
bold move. Bold move, Cotton.
Account edging.
All right. Well, that was Gary's Games minus Gary equals Games. That will be our show for tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with us. Thank you guys so
Always
much for
a
coming
pleasure.
to participate. Zach, thank you for busting your damn Soundbooth Theater live cherry. And
Thank you for having me. In the pickle factory.
Nice and
I can't
bloody
wait.
in that booth.
Oh boy.
Annie. Okay, 2 weeks, guys. We'll have another one, and join me tomorrow for more Dungeon Crawler Carl 5 cold reads. Y'all have a good night.